Hi, Darren West from Prosper Health Collective. Today I want to talk about the neurology of trauma. So many clients who've experienced terrible things often say, I want to forget about what's happened in this past, but I keep remembering it. I don't seem to be the same person that I used to be. I feel more unsafe and I can't stop thinking about it, and I try to distract myself, but the memories keep coming to me even though I don't want them to. Sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy. Often what I like to do is I like to explain to clients on a neurological level what's happening to them and why they're experiencing these things, and the fact that they're not going crazy, but simply we're limited by our biology. To do this, I like to talk about two types of memories: explicit memories and implicit memories. They play a really important role in regards to trauma. Explicit memories are the memories, classic memories, the memories that you can consciously remember. So if I asked you where you went to primary school, where you went to high school, the day you got married, where you grew up, your mum and dad's name, these are examples of explicit memories. And so often what happens in these sort of situations, when you're experiencing an event, all the information from the senses goes to the part of the brain called the hippocampus. And the hippocampus processes this information roughly for about 2 weeks, and then it moves it to the cortical areas where it's just put away for long-term memory. Now there's also another memory that's strongly impacted by trauma, and that's implicit memories. Implicit memories are often called body memories or emotional memories. And in regards to trauma, these are particularly important in regards to how you felt at the time of the event. They are processed by a part of the brain called the amygdala, which is having a bit of a renaissance at the moment. And that's particularly to do with the fight or flight response. So in regards to experiencing trauma, when we experience a very difficult or uncomfortable event, often what happens is that it produces a lot of uncomfortable emotions. What often happens is that the hippocampus tries to process and understand what happened at that particular event. Let's just say maybe a car accident, for example. So the hippocampus tries to go over the information about the car accident over and over again. But obviously this feels very uncomfortable, and so when the hippocampus is thinking about the accident, it triggers the amygdala, and so then the amygdala makes the body feel uncomfortable, and you're feeling all those sorts of fearful emotions again, and so we get scared. And often what we try and do is we try to distract ourselves or do something else. When this happens over and over again, often what happens is that all of a sudden the amygdala becomes larger, it becomes more active, and so soon with a more active amygdala we become more fearful just generally. So when we go out in public, we become more fearful, and the world becomes a more fearful place. And so the hippocampus tries to go over and process these memories over and over again, but often they're too difficult. And every time that the hippocampus brings it up, the amygdala gets stronger and we become more fearful. And often what happens, there's a bit of a symmetry happening. When the hippocampus gets triggered and it triggers the amygdala, what often happens is that the amygdala drains away the power of the hippocampus. And so the hippocampus comes compromised. It's not able to process those memories very well. And in actual fact, the opposite happens for the amygdala. The amygdala becomes bigger and stronger. And so with all of this sort of conflict happening, the amygdala needs to go over and over and over the memories of what happens. But every time it does, the amygdala gets stronger and the hippocampus gets weaker. And so there comes a bit of a conflict. And often, these traumatic memories don't go after a week or two, and often they can hang around even for possibly years, and the whole brain of being able to process these memories becomes compromised. Hopefully, in understanding what happens in this whole process, you start to realize that in actual fact, no, you're not going crazy in regard to all of this, and there is actually a reason why we go over these things and we don't feel as safe as we used to. We're simply limited by our biology. So in processing and working towards or working on our way for recovery, being able to process both memories, implicit and explicit memories, are very important. And there's something that we can do here at Prosper Health Collective. So I'm going to leave you there. So just wanted to hopefully give you a bit of an understanding of what's happening on a neurological level when a trauma occurs. And that's, often the professional assistance is required in being able to process these in a very safe manner. Sometimes when we try to do too much, it can be overwhelming, but it's important to realize in a safe and secure environment, you'll be able to work on these, and for you to be able to often move those sorts of memories back to where they should be. Often a lot of clients say, it feels like it only happened last week, not months or years ago. The aim of counselling is to put those memories back to where they are. Not so that you'll forget them, because they're part of your life now, all right? But for you to be able to recall them, to be able to understand them, and for you to stay absolutely calm and not be overwhelmed or numb or go into dissociation, all right? But to stay absolutely calm. All right. That's all for today. I hope you all keep safe, and I look forward to catching up with you next time. All right then. Take care. Goodbye.